Hey, how's it going, guys? Good day to everybody. Good evening, grand rising. Rise and shine, sleepy heads. Get your buns up out of bed. It's a good day once again. Let's get going. As I was driving the kids, actually, I drove the kids to school and then I came back, but I was thinking, it was funny, this came to me. It was like a little small poem because as I was driving the back way home, I could see the sun, just the bright dot through the fog, right? So I was thinking, as the sun fights the fog with every ray, the war is not won, but one battle has begun. Each ray that penetrates the fog is one more victory. Being patient, knowing the battle's not won. So yeah, that's what I come up with. Hey Joe, Olivia, thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. Uh, I enjoy coming by. I like your energy. It's your energy that draws me to your channel. As we all know, age has no number, as does time. Yeah, I know, beautiful Brazil. So yeah, and I understand that your English is not that good, but uh, obviously there's a connection between you and I, and it's far more and far greater than uh, language boundaries, right? So that's pretty awesome. Thanks for the like too. I appreciate that so much. It helps the channel, and it really does resonate the energy of positive vibrations, and it helps. So, so it's 44 degrees here in Maine. It's kind of chilly today. 8:23 a.m. Hey, Miss Key, how are you? It's good to see you. Good day to you as well. I appreciate you stopping by and saying hi. Life is good, and every day is a challenge, right? Fighting the thought of negative thought. It's hard to. Good. I'm glad you're doing well. I appreciate it. To remove that negative thought whenever it comes in is really helpful because you got to realize anything negative is not coming from you. It's coming from something else. And a lot of people can use different labels and different things about this because our understanding is completely different about the world. We have all different forms of understanding through religious faith, through life, through us being raised, through our family members. So there's so many things that do influence the mind. Uh, I'm cautiously aware of thoughts that come in because a thought negative, how do I say this? I can honestly tell you that a negative thought is not coming from myself. Does that make sense? Because I don't live in a negative presence. I live in the present of love. And keeping that in my mind and constantly reminding me to be patient and not to react to an action or a feeling that you know they have no control over. It's an instinct thought. And it's hard to not react. Does that make sense? So for me to be consciously aware of my word and what the word is saying and what I'm perceiving or having a conversation to, it's going to be very important that sometimes word can come or be perceived as another person as a negative light. Now, I've had many experiences. I've been on here for 5 years. And I spent the majority of the first 2.5 years trying to build and help others as I'm helping myself. There was a point where I couldn't even go into somebody else's chat because someone was gang stalking me. No matter what it was. And I'm not going to get into great details because it's at this point, at the point I couldn't believe that the host was allowing this to happen, for one. And for two, I was beside myself that being myself, I couldn't even be myself on certain streams. I'd go on the lives and be made fun of, literally. You know, and I can give plenty of examples, but what would that do? What would that do for me? What would that make me? Because I've forgiven that perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to be polite and honest about this. This is a very heartful situation that I've gone through. And I would love to have people understand that there are some not so good people out here that try to just look at you and judge you because of the certain questions you ask. Hey, Angela, how are you? Hey, thanks for coming in. I appreciate that. And some get very jealous and they don't want to believe that you are who you are. So instead of trying to get to know somebody, an individual thinks that it's easy to make fun of people and to belittle them without even knowing them. And you guys may think that this hasn't happened to me in my channel, but it has. And it's happened, and I've learned to really not be very leery of who I go in and see. And it's very unfortunate that it's the people that I least expected it to be. You know what I mean? Face value, these, and I'm going to say the gender because it's primarily women, and I don't understand why. And I'm not getting into that great detail either, per se. But what I'm saying is, I've been gang stalked for a long time, and I still am being gang stalked. It deterred me for a while from being on here because I can get that feeling that why doesn't this guy just stop? We've done everything. We've thrown everything at him. And he's still here making a face, presenting himself. And this is the reason why I'm doing it. Because if I stopped, the people that don't want me to be here, they would win. And they would win, and I don't want anyone like that to win. And I'm a far greater and a far powerful soul to understand that I had to pick up my pieces. People don't understand. My channel 2.5 years ago crumbled. I completely went away from it for like 7 months. And I was at wit's end. I didn't want to do it anymore. And you know the biggest thing that burnt me out? Trying to join chats and trying to help people. Going in and visiting every single day, being consistent. And yet being told that I didn't belong there. And what was I doing? That I was being fake. That I wasn't being my true authentic self. Because I was saying sending love and light. Or I'm a lighthouse, steadying and strong. Well, people aren't used to hearing things like that. They're not used to seeing certain people like me out here in the real world. But there are people like me. Because you're looking at one. That is a pure soul, that is unconditionally kind right from the beginning. Even if I do get stepped on, or even if I do get made fun of. You know, years ago, I was compared by this guy. He dresses up as a pirate. I don't know his name, but extremely jealous of me. And he thought that it would be funny to compare me to a guy on Seinfeld that was short and extremely fat. And at that time, I was chunky and fat, right? And yeah, it did hurt me. And it hurt me very deeply because I never thought that there were mean people out here like there was in school when I went to school. I had no idea. I was so naive. Then I realized that YouTube is no different than high school, that there are bullies everywhere. And then I realized what I did to bullies when I was in school. And I realized that I can't do that out here, that I've grown up, and that I can't just go and match word for word with somebody because all it is words. But it deeply affected me. But it also, on the other hand, completely motivated me more to lose weight. And I am grateful for that part of it. And there's another fellow, too, from the UK. We were friends in the beginning. Fabulous singer. The guy can sing. He's a natural. And he's had some personal problems in his life. Him and his wife have gone through some really tough times. You know, losing a loved one, especially before yourself, can really mess up a person's mind and heart, soul, and really allow them to start believing that there is no higher power. But taking it out on other people and being rude and disrespectful and expecting a reaction to attack me deliberately is not a respectful way to try to make friends with somebody. So I had to remove myself from a lot of people. The biggest thing I did was I stopped sharing and liking and going to these group chats that I was never welcome in. Even though they said that I was welcome, I was never welcome. Because people can look at my channel and say, I can't believe this guy is this way. I can't believe he has this many subscribers. The guy's a scrub. The guy's a fake. I can hear all the sayings, guys. I know what's being said without even being there in your presence. And I understand the competitiveness of YouTube. But I had to release myself from that and realize that numbers are just numbers. There is no meaning to a number unless you give it power to. I had to learn to find myself and realize that I can stand on my own 2 feet. I don't need to go to people that don't want me, that don't want my help. You feel me? And standing alone was the hardest thing to do. And then having to pick up the pieces from my channel. And now I'm carrying on as I will. And just do things that I have pleasure and passion and love to do. Because that's where my time's more precious. My time is more important to me than someone using me for a number or a like. And it's hurtful. It really is hurtful in so many ways that I could get so depressed over this. But then I remember the ones that did this to me, I wonder how they're doing now. Because every action has a reaction, negative or positive. It does not matter except for the energy that you put out on it. So if your energy is in a negative manner towards another individual, be prepared. And this is just the laws of the universe. And you think that no one sees you? You're always being watched. If you believe in God and you go to church every Sunday, then shame on you the most. Whosoever goes to church and treated me the way they treated me, that's despicable in my eyes. Completely despicable. A man that says they're religious, but then they treat people with negative restraint and jealousy is not a good thing. Hey, Free Fire Master. How you doing, Emery, right? He's 11 years old, and he probably just got out of school, and he's from Albania. And I had a wonderful conversation with this young fella a couple of days ago, and he really he did something to my soul. He allowed me to step outside my box and not to be afraid to have a conversation with somebody you don't even know. I didn't even know his age. I didn't even know who he was, but he said that I gave him an opportunity. And he gave me the most. He gave me an opportunity to really realize that each individual has its own currency. You found your cat. That's awesome, man. I'm glad you found him. How was school today, my friend? Did you learn something good? And thanks for coming in again. I appreciate it. So, yeah, I have a lot of, I guess, information, and I write a lot of my thoughts and feelings down, and I never forget anything. I forgive because I have to forgive myself to move on, and I have to forgive others for they know but not what they do. So, from my perception, it's love first. And sometimes that naive does nip me in the bud because I know the world's so opposite and so cold at sometimes. But then there are opportunities when you find somebody like Free Fire Master from a completely different country, far younger than me, but yet we allow each other opportunity to grow, to advance, not to cheat someone down. Because me personally, it's infectious, the energy and the love that someone has, and you can't not but want to be a part of something like that. And that thing that's telling you not to be a part of it, to be jealous, to be envious, to start making up lies and fake things about someone, that's not the way to go. It's very good. Everyone in this guy is the coolest person I've ever met. I appreciate the comment, my friend, but we're all special in our own way, and we all have something to offer the world. You have your whole life in front of you. And I find it so fascinating at a young age that you're interested in someone like me. And that you're interested in trying to be a better person yourself, to maybe uplift yourself as you get older. And in many cases, I never had the opportunity that this YouTube and all this new age stuff. There is this, because at 11 years old, I didn't have a computer to get on and talk to somebody from Albania. No way. That was in 1987, 86. Computers were just starting to be developed. And there I am years later, and I have an 11-year-old that's having a conversation with me from a completely different country. To me, that's mind-boggling. In a good way. Because it proves right here in this conversation, in this video, that everyone has something to offer, that I'm not BSing everybody. That we have the equal opportunity. That no one's any better or any greater than anybody else. That financial and monetary gain does not make you a better person. What you own, or what you think you own, what house you live in, if you have a car at all these material things, monetary things, things that are matter, things that you will never be able to take with you when you pass this body on to the next life with your soul. The importance to understand that this world has foolishly fooled every single soul on this planet in thinking that the monetary value comes from matter. The monetary value that you hold and carry true to yourself is the only currency that matters, and that's your vessel, who you are and who you want to be, and how and you want to get there. And understanding being in the present, being now, focusing on the conversation at hand, the one we're having together right now, is the only matter that has any importance. And that's totally up to you too. Because every conversation should be taken with a grain of salt. Because no man has the truth, not even Jesus himself. He might have found some of it. But again, we're talking about people that aren't here to defend themselves. Right? I've Free Fire Master asked the question. You have a little daughter, right? I don't. I have. This is gonna sound crazy, but I have 3 adult children that are all moved out and on their own, and I have 3 daughters, and I have 4 grandchildren. 2 out of the 4 of my grandchildren happen to live with me, and one happens to be my granddaughter, and she lives with me. And I have a grandson that lives with me. His name is Owen. So yeah, they're my grandchildren. So yeah, I'm looking after them. I tend to pick out very quickly the energy. Because I saw that video. Yeah. Yeah, I used to do videos with them in the beginning and sharing some of my life experiences and stuff like that. And like I said, I pretty much transformed my channel, which it's unbelievable that I did this in a way. And I strictly just started doing stuff for myself. At the time, I needed a lot more healing. And I didn't want to focus my time on wasting it going to see people's lives and be completely humiliated in most of them. So I decided to write poetry, and that's my passion. And I've been writing poetry pretty much all my life since I was probably, I don't know, probably 10 or 11. And I've got notebooks of just probably chicken scratch thoughts that I had written down that I started just, I'm a self-taught poet. I just started writing. I always struggled in school with English. I always had great teachers though. And I had a hard time reading and writing. My life as a child was not like a normal child. I went to multiple schools and lost out in math and, writing and English. But as I got older, I had a desire to learn, to be a better reader. And I didn't start really doing that until I started going to Sunday school and I started reading the Bible. And my handwriting's not the worst. Yeah. Playing in the mud. You're just like my dad. Thanks for the compliment. I'm sure your dad's an awesome guy. Yeah. Free Fire Master someday if you want to just get him on here. I'll have a conversation with him. I'm free to it. I'm open to everything, guys. Within the fitness of things. Do as thy will. And do no harm to others. as you do no harm to others. That's what love's all about, man. Love is trying to find love within yourself. You have to love yourself before you can love anybody else. And I spent my whole entire life looking outside myself, trying to find that love. And sometimes you can find that love by expressing yourself and someone else seeing it. And that's even better because that light gets a little bit brighter. And as the love joins that light, you find that there's more things in common. My mom says to be careful around the other people. I completely respect that, and I understand why your mother would tell you that for advice. Because through my experiences, she's right. There are certain people that you need to be very cautious about. Your mom sounds like a very wise person, and your dad does too. Sounds like they're doing a good job raising you. And actually, in a lot of ways, I'm grateful for you having a mom and dad to be able to have that opportunity to have that life because you're looking at a person that didn't have that experience. So I have a lot more faith and compassion for other young ones that have the opportunity to be able to be raised by two parents. It's important, especially if that those two parents are on the same wavelength and they want only the best for you. And that's why she makes those comments. So be careful, my friend. This world's not what it is. And it's taken me a long time. I'm such a naive person. And it's because I've always lived in that pure innocence my whole entire life. Even being a parent at a young age. Never having a childhood per se. Just looking at life every day as survival. That's how my life was growing up in an urban setting. A child growing up in a world with no parent supervision. A parent that was a zombie and a parent that was never there. But I've forgiven my parents for that. It's made me a stronger person, a better father and a better mother. I mean, a better parent, a better brother and a better son. My whole experiences. Yeah, I don't deal with the drugs part of it. It's, yeah. But that's got nothing to do with you. I mean, you can't send a drug through the power line. I mean, you're not going to be taking a drug, right? So, yeah, you don't need to worry about that stuff. It's we got to be careful not to be fearful too, because a fearful mind really stops you from opportunities. So life can do that to you sometimes. And in my journey of my experiences led me down paths, but I kind of realized my alcohol problem that I had. It's been almost 10 years now since I drank. Really, it's unbelievable. Just realized that was just me trying to find love. But basically, what it was it was me trying to find a quick way to my spiritual soul, myself. My dad's cousins had no parents, only a sister. Yeah, I'm not the only one, man. And that's the thing that it's that I'm not the only one. That's a poet. That's a poem right there. I'm not the only one. There's many people out here that can probably relate to my story. Anybody can. It's easy for someone to place judgment on you, not knowing you. Yesterday, I got home. I had a busy weekend, and my neighbors were over there talking, and they're awful loud, especially when they're having a couple drinks. And it's funny that they point and they talk, and they think that no one's hearing them. But I listen so well. My ears are always open, and my eyes are open to see. And it goes right back to gang stalking and the energy after 5G and all this stuff that's happened. I can see what some others can't. That's why it's a good question to ask yourself. Who are you when no one's looking? Are you the same person that you present yourself to be when you are being seen? Or are you a completely different person? Are you a person behind closed doors, backstabbing, talking shit, jealous? Because you're probably the one that's in a relationship that's in shambles. Because the person in the room that has the biggest voice, we all know they're the ones that are filled full of fear. What did you say? What part? I said quite a bit. Shy. Uh, Shy. I can't swear again because that's a word that means feces, poop, defecation. I forgot you were in here. So, my advice is continue doing what you're doing because I know not what you do. Log. Poop. Yeah, I guess you can call it a log. Learning to forgive and be patient, not to react instantly, but to use thought and non detach yourself. Nothing is personal unless you make it personal. Everyone's looking for a reaction. But I've got so much that I really want to say. And that's the thing. My mind is telling me I ought to just do it. It's the Scorpio instinct in me to go and just call every one of these guys out that supposedly is a group. But if I did that, what would that make me? I'd rather get the satisfaction that I know who they are and never go back to them again. Never talk to them, completely erase them from my thought and from YouTube completely, and just completely move on. Why would you feel bad for me? All is well, man. It's okay. It's completely fine. You're a young fellow. You got plenty of things to do today besides coming here and talk to me. So I appreciate you coming in. Thank you very much. And thank you for the like. And thank you for your time and your consistency and your innocence. Yeah, it's fine, brother. It's okay with me. I think the little thing you don't understand is you're 11 years old, and yes, you might have a hard time. I love your feeling. You got a good heart, but I'm okay. I'm strong enough to understand that I can walk alone, and I can sit in front of this camera for hours if I wanted to, and simply just stare at it if I wanted to. But I'm doing this to be consistent. I'm doing this for myself, for discipline, and to prove to myself that I have to do this for one more last effort. I'm not fighting the system anymore. I could care less what the system does. And I could care less what other people do. You got a scratchy throat. So it's okay, my friend, man. Thanks for coming by. But if you can't stand by yourself and you have to look for someone for a handout or a hand up or help, or you need a team behind you to make you bigger and stronger, that's fake loyalty, in my opinion. They're only loyal until what happens when you stop doing stuff like I've done? Where's the loyalty now? There are people out here that are extremely loyal to my channel, and I consider them friends. But the ones that walk around and show videos of helping homeless or doing something loving and kind, are they doing it for a view? Or are they doing it because that's who they are? And they have to just show people. It's just so exciting. You have to show somebody. It's disturbing that the ones that claim that they're the most religious are the biggest hypocrites. And that's what really bothers me the most. That someone that's so God-fearing and so religious and listens to their priest and pastor on Sundays and maybe Wednesday nights or whatever, those are the ones that are attacking me. I find that extremely interesting. The ones that can't believe that I can't have the faith that I have. That's what's disturbing. And the algorithm, the ones that think that it's sneaky, that you're going to put a bunch of likes on my videos and then take them all off, or add about 7 or 8 subscribers to my channel and the next day they're gone. Yes, my channel's been infiltrated. I understand that. And yes, I probably should just wrap it all up and start over. I'm not a believer in that. And nor am I a believer in starting multiple fake channels just so I can follow somebody to troll them. It's frustrating what's happened to my channel. My channel was conformed into something that obviously can you stream because I won't feel that bad if you want to. Hey, dude, you don't have to do that, my friend. Please, brother. I appreciate his kindness, man. There's so many few people like you out there. You're a good soul. It's humbling. So humbling, man. I'm taking back my power. And I'm taking back my general wealth and well being and everything that's been ripped away from me. Slowly just retaining it. It's the bounce back. It's the true self. Spent some time yesterday with a good friend of mine, family friend that we've known for years. He moved up here from Massachusetts a long time ago. They just bought a new house. And he's deaf. And you probably wouldn't really know it. The only thing that really gives it away, because he can speak very well, he reads lips. And he asked me the other day if my channel was still going. He used to come on, and I used to do some videos with him anyway. There's a couple of videos with him on it. But I told him I backed off on that part of it. And he asked me why. And I said, my channel has to have a niche. It's got to be something that I'm known for. And I don't want to be known for one video. The one video that I happened to post with Owen when Owen was like 2.5 years old. So I told him that I just started writing poetry. I'm going to become a poet. Now, how does, and the other thing too is he's deaf. He ain't going to hear the music. He's going to see the picture. He's going to see the words. But as a deaf person, he's not interested. And I understand that. And it's hard to get someone's brutal honesty, And the brutal honesty is he has no interest to read something like poetry or whatever if there's nothing there that can keep him there. And it makes complete sense. And I completely respect him. I still love him the same. He's still a good friend of mine. So if anybody's on here that's thinking about doing a YouTube channel, my best advice for you is don't tell a soul that you're doing it. Don't tell any family member. Don't tell any friends. Don't tell anybody. Just create the channel. Don't get into group chats. Don't get into share for share. Don't get in for all that stuff. Do it on your own. Have the faith that you can do it. And whatever you do, don't have the intentions to getting rich. Find something that you enjoy and you love, your niche, and start posting videos. Don't make anything personal. That's my advice. So I met a friend in Albania. I'm glad I did. I was watching a video yesterday in Albania, and it's a beautiful country. And I got thinking that I'd want to be on the coast, the warmer part of Albania, the sea coast, and probably where most of the tourists go and hang out. But I can't get over the turquoise blue water that's in Albania, in the Albanian Alps. Such a beautiful country. Checking out Brazil the other day too. I like looking at other countries. I think it's amazing. So, well, thanks for the 5 likes in there today. I appreciate it. And hey, welcome in the one that's in the chat today. It's awesome. Oh, don't forget I'm still here. Yeah, I know you're here, man. Dharma. Dharma. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Is that on the sea coast of Albania? You know what really intrigues me the most about Albania is their freedom of religion. It's that right there is amazing in itself. Saiji, how are you? I remember that word you taught me. Saiji. Thank you so much for staying in the chat and communicating with me. You know, it's kind of funny because I was getting you probably sensed it too. That's probably why you made the comment that you were going to stay in. It's a good soul. I have a hard time pronouncing your first name. I think it's Emer. Emai. I think it is Emri. I believe is his name. And he's 11, which I'm surprised you're able. I have this video is not for kids, so I'm surprised you got on here because you're definitely below the age of 18. So it's kind of Sai. Jaiji. Saiji, how are you? I like that. How do you say thank you in Albanian? That's very cool. I gotta think about what I'm gonna do today. I only got a few hours, so it's not gonna be too much. Fail Minderette. It's hard, but that's all right. I'm just amazed by your English. you're very good at understanding English. And another thing that I realized too is there's a lot of Albanians here in America, and that's why there's a lot of leniency between the two countries. And I thought that was very impressive that they welcome the English and the Americans there to the country, and you're allowed a 1 year visa, which is awesome. Maybe things are going to work out, so maybe one day I can go over there and visit. I'm afraid that I might fall in love and want to stay there. And I got a question for you. Is there very strong family ties and connections there with grandparents and great grandparents and stuff? You guys take care of one another, family environment. And there's a lot of Americans here in Albania. I bet it's more of a reason. Your housing and your uh, like your rent and stuff like that is fairly reasonable. Like I was looking up to rent a home there. It's around, I mean, for even a nice one, it's around 500 to 550 a month, which is about half what it is here. So yeah, I think that's amazing. And I guess the back of my mind, I'm like, it's my own fear that's backing me. Like I know that I can. What am I doing? This is impossible. I can't go to another country and live. So I have all this doubt in my head too for so many years. Yeah, fear. But it's possible. I think anything's possible. Welcome everyone that's in the chat. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Your cuisine and your food intrigues me because I like the Mediterranean food, except for tomatoes. But I love olives, mushrooms. The pasta here in the United States is different than probably in the other countries too. So I don't have a grandpa. I don't have my grandpa and my grams. Did they pass away, buddy? Or did they live in another country? I haven't had a mom and a pop in a long time, or a gram. So we have something in common. But I believe my Pepe is still my divine guide. My Pepe is always with me every day. I feel him right now. He just sends me goosebumps. My Pepe. Do you have any questions for me at all? I mean, I've asked you a ton of questions. It's kind of like I bombarded you with questions. Just practicing my adolescence, my little kid, you know. I'm still that inner child. It still lives and it's alive. And that's what I love best about me too, because I see glimpses of it coming out. Every time I smile, it's a smile of innocence. It's pure love. Yeah. So, do you have any plans someday to move out of your country and maybe come to the United States? Do you have any ideas or what you want to be or want to do when you grow up? Free fire master. Do you have any idea of what you want to be when you grow up? I'm gonna drive this into the garage. It's gonna get dark. Getting a little dark, but I'm going into the garage. So I'm gonna get ready to finish it up here. Do you know kids in America take $10 with them? We take $1. So in Albania, it's 100 leek. Yes, right. So $1 is 100 leek. Yeah. What can $1 buy you in Albania? Can you get a meal for $1? I'm going to go, but I'm not going to go in the United States. I'm going to go to Italy. Very nice. What part of Italy would you like to go to? Oh, man. All right, brother. I'm going to get out of here. It was good seeing you, my friend. Be well and take care. Have a great day. I'm a lighthouse, steady and strong for the world to see my light shine bright. I want to see yours. You can bless the road to happiness. See you later.